Good morning. A 0600 hours and 44 minutes coming to you Sunday, August 26, 2018. I just woke up and the creator been, I know it's dark. I'm gonna keep the creator been speaking to me a lot about me personally. So I stated before, a lot of things about people is about them personally, and we like to speak about it and share it. And I like to share a lot of things about my life. And I titled this Real Lives, Experience Life in You, because I learned about our us as a person, as a people, not even because of our race. Not generally speaking about black people, but generally just in general as well, is I have noticed a guy have asked me. No, I'm gonna start off with this. I was gonna start off with this anyway. At work lately, if you ask me, are you married? You have kids? You're first they say married. The reason I notice they say that, I'm just gonna think just take a stab at it and be like, because the way I treat their parents, I'm really caring for people. Like in my every other job I ever had, it was always only like one person to notice the good job I was doing when I never did a bad job. That's one thing I never did at anything I ever done was be bad at it. Because I never had the mind to have habits or ways that was like, that's bad. Like if you was supposed to put if you work at a fast food, the way the burger is supposed to be stacked. Bread, lettuce, tomato, burger, cheese, bread. It's like I always did that. That became a habit. Now I taught myself that. Unless somebody did not want it item like a pickle. So take the pickle off. So if they want an onion and pickle, then it's cheese, it's pickle, onion, bread, and everything. And that really matters because I was working at a certain fast food restaurant after I work at one. Didn't really work there long, so I never talk about them or really bring them up on my job because I wasn't there long. It was never meant for me to be there long. It was like more of a fill-in to help out the owner or people or event or any or just for that matter, just really to help out. I got paid a couple of dollars, but it wasn't like nothing I was worried about because I was there. I wasn't there to work. I was there to just show, like just to be there to help. Never got in a habit. So now even healthcare, if I use a gait belt, I'm supposed to have a gait belt. If I'm supposed to hold the person a certain way, I'm supposed to treat them or not even treat them or based on their care plan, I'm supposed to do that. And I go by the care plan. If I have any questions, I ask the nurse and everything. And I'm just holding that to who I am. I remember one time, it's probably more of my audio recordings. I have a lot of those. Then I produced my website. That's when I'm gonna start putting them on there. And I'm gonna split them up and listen to them and really like get into forums and just audios and like be mic'd up so people can talk. A commuter person do like webinars and really just get back to us. Like realize like life and experience. Everybody life experience is different. We was raised in different households. We go through life at a different rate, especially for the young men and women, children. We're not teaching that no more. We're teaching, well, okay, at a certain age they should know right from wrong. Okay, I get that. But after that, it's like everything else is up to their parent, the person that's watching over them. What is the parent discretion? What is the parent's guidance? What is the parent's intent? So what is the parent showing this child? So we all already know that, like, well, I was shown how to save money at 8. I wasn't shown how to save money. I was watched and I was told you should save money. That's a big difference than actually going out saving money and knowing how to save money. It's a big difference than, oh, I pay bills and you should learn how to pay bills. Like the parent don't sit down. Now if they even did this, it would help a bunch, a lot. And it would say, here's a bill, or here's my pay stub. This is what take out. This is how I pay bills. So I make a certain amount of money. We eat a certain amount of food. We pay a certain amount of bill money. Our funds go to a certain amount. If we was actually showing that, that would be even understandable. But it's not shown. I don't know. I can't even think. Like I'm saying this. I know people that know how to save money. They like I ask something like my parents didn't show me that. That's a good idea. Because the one thing I noticed we always say as a parent, I want to give my child everything I never had. And I keep saying this to people. Why don't we never say I want to give my child all the knowledge I didn't have? Imagine if my mother and father would have like, okay, I know you busy. I know you busy being a parent. That's why I said in my last live, the other one, what was it? Can't recall what I just recorded. And I was like, I want to, even though I'm giving my child all the knowledge I have, parents don't, they're too busy to talk about almost everything. But that should be your mission as a parent. You should never be too busy to talk about life. As your child enters certain stages, it's like my son or daughter said, Dad, or my son said, Dad, what's a penis? I was like, he has a penis. My daughter say, what's a vagina? Then if my daughter say, what's a penis? Or my son say, what's a vagina? Those are two different ways to explain it because either one of them don't have a penis or don't have a vagina. And if they have one or the other, that's a little bit easier to explain. When you don't have it, it is a little harder to explain. So that makes sense. So that's okay. It's harder to explain, but still explain. Find it in your way. How was you taught? How would you want to hear it? If a child say, he's a young woman, she's a young woman, and she say, what is a penis? How would you want to hear the story of a penis? And like we sit here, we try to like, oh, I won't do that. But we all got different walks and facets of life that we don't know about the other person. And then we tend to forget that. So these people asking me, are you married? And it's like, and I ask them why you ask that. And then we get in a good conversation. Sometimes I shouldn't be conversating with the family like that. But I'm there. I'm there for 8 hours. I'm not literally nursing people. I'm helping and assisting them. And some need more of attention. So I got a few minutes every time. I just say I haven't met the right woman yet. But that's around people of other races. They say, oh, okay. They're like, you and me her. And then they'll say good qualities about me. People of my race, especially women, they go say, well, you wouldn't for her. And and I'm like, wow, I've been noticing that the last really good year, even at my church. It was like, what happened to that lady you was with? I was like, oh, she wasn't for me. Then they say, well, then I was like, now how I learn when there's women, I was like, well, we wasn't for each other. But still they found a way to say you wasn't for her. And then I asked them, even the married lady at the church, I was like, why is it? I actually now when people say that, I ask, I was like, why is it I say, well, she wasn't for me? Why is it that y'all reverse it? Like, I am just the only one that can like be a reason. Like it's two people there. And women, I'm like, what? I don't know what's wrong with women. I don't know how to like, and I'm serious. I tell them like now too. I don't know how to talk to women anymore because I'm getting to this stage of they want to be liberated, they want to be heard, but all the other like senses are going out the door. It's like can't another woman be wrong? It's like you defending. It's like you defending a woman when I never said nothing bad about her. And if you know me, it's nothing bad is going to be said. All I'm gonna do is speak the truth. And I was like, and the guy would come to me. People would come to me because they hear me talk. They was like, oh, that I'm not on nobody's side. Even my sister, she get mad. You're not on my side. I'm on the side of right and wrong, positive and good. Positive versus negative, I'm gonna be on positive side. Bad or good, I'm gonna be on good side. Right versus wrong, I'm gonna be on the right. I'm not worried about how you feel. You could be my wife. If we in a situation, you could be my girlfriend, a lady I like, or a lady I care for. I don't like the word like. Like has a underlining, like not a great meaning behind it. It's like the word nice. So look up those words or yam or yeah. So If I care about her, I admire her, I'm gonna let her know that's wrong. But if we in public and she trying to get me to agree with her when I don't agree at all, we're not even in the same understanding of why should I agree. It kind of put that's when that wavelength start going disorder. That's when the heart you see how the heartbeat, you ever do a heartbeat, the wavelength, the frequency, it goes up and down, and it's two of them. Now they go in different directions. That's what get me, and that's like what I'm like understanding about realizing with women about life. They don't think they don't use the same senses. It's like I'm trying to get the word. They won't put that. They're not practical. A lot of them not practical. They won't realize that's not it. It's like let's try a different way. Let's do it a different way. But like men, we are very accepting of a lot of things. And I was explaining to a young man. He's 30. I'm 35. He dated a woman. She's like not at the same. This she got 3 kids. I said cool. I didn't come at him and like blah blah this and that. I was like, and he knew I was. That's why he came to me. No, anybody ever know me or never diss nobody. I don't care. I just said I don't date women with kids anymore. This is my experience, and I told him my experience. He was like, oh okay. But I said for you, you got to see if you really like her. Because even the one lady was like, yeah, three. You jump from 1 to 3. So it's gonna be very. I told him to be. She said it's gonna be very different. Like, it's gonna be very different than you dating a woman that's of your same ethnicity with 3 kids or 1 or 2 kids. But you're going out of ethnicity. I was like, did she ever date a white guy? And she was like, yes. I was like, good. So now she has a care for admiration of white guys already or out of her race. So that's good. So you're one up on things, but get to know her as regular. Any woman, get to know her. You like her, you like her. I ain't down him. But I told him, and I was guiding him to find wise counsel. And I always like you know who you are, you know what you don't like, or you know what you will not agree with or disagree with. Stick with that, because she's gonna have her disagreements and disagree. But talk, communicate with her, really be open, and have your questions. She's gonna have things she don't like about you. You're gonna have things, but as a man, like men, we're more acceptable. A woman can be down in the dirt, poor, and we're not. Even the men that do say this, we're not worried that she's down in the dirt, poor. How do she treat me? How do she act around me? Do she care about me? See, women have a different analogy of men. I'm not going to explain women how women be fond of men. I don't know. I don't know how to explain that because I have yet to meet a woman. Like I hear the story. It's like women see me, they're so quick to say, "Well, you would meet a good woman," but it's like I told you, I care about you. I admire you. What's up? Or what's going on with you? How's your life? Do you see an interest in me? Are you intrigued by me? And I even use the word. It's an honor to get to know you, to seek you out. But we gotta remember we skip past patterns without telling them. We go from relationship, courtship, and marriage. Sometimes he was like, "We'll always see." I was like, "Yeah, because you at the age of 30, you no longer just see women for conquests, or that's a conquest. It's a trick. It's a what's the top prior." Like I'm talking to a guy, he's 47, like I still get pussy. I'm like, so what? I'm not worried about getting pussy. I had got pussy before. I'm trying to fall in love. I want a woman to be in love with me now. So getting pussy mean nothing anymore to me. At a young age, it never meant nothing. I still think it's amazing that in 2018, that 47-year-old man or 35-year-old man or 30 up old women and 47 is still allowing their minds to be tricked by the bad boy image, the white man, black man image. They don't see the heart and good of a man, especially in my quote unquote black, what we call black, indigo, Pan African, more whatever you want to call it, indigenous. It's African descent is what I love to use, and I still don't see how we're tricked at the age of 35. Like I'm meeting 38-year-old, 40-year-olds. They don't look young either. I look young in a sense. I still look like I didn't like use myself out. There's no offense against people that had lots of children that did drugs and got better. This and that. It's not even that. but they look older than me and they've been through a lot in a way of that wasn't right. You was with a married man before. I never dated a married woman. So now they're in their life, they got a little more thing. It's like they're letting a lot of things like their mind is only focused on what they want to be right in a righteousness way. That's what they need to grab on. They need a whatever the substance is, the religion, their job, their money, their car, their house. They got to grab on to that because the makeup of who they are, they haven't took the time out. Like they make fun, like, oh, you live alone. Yeah, I live alone. And then when you find out about the women, it's like you was taking care of a dude. That's a nigga. He not a nigga. He was a white man. He's getting on his feet. That's a nigga. You taking care of a nigga. I don't care of his color. The word nigga is not directly at me. That word described like you call a woman a slut or a cunt. A slut mean untidy woman. A nigga is a man that's not being a man based on his manhood. On his manhood, you taking care of him. That's not even, he not even works. He won't never gain access to knowing who he is because he ain't even doing the work. He's not even putting himself through a time where he can figure out who he is. So that's a nigga. I have to break down nigga to you like, oh, I know he's a nigga. And I don't use the word, but that's a nigga. Like I learned to understand words that I don't like. I learned to understand words I don't like. LEARNT, learn. That's the word. That's when you learn to the understanding of the word. It's the word learn. When you put like when learned, like not learned, learnt. It's a T. You can look it up. It's a true word. So people are like that's not a word. I'll write it down like that's a word, and I look it up. Like conglomerate or maturate. Maturate is like maturity. You're maturating to get better. Like you're growing. You're getting wiser. You're going understanding. You're doing more to understand why things are a certain way. That's a maturation process. Like Usain Bolt, he wasn't the fastest man in the world, but he wasn't slow. He was faster than everybody, but he didn't know how to use his. He had to learn a technique to beat them in the race. That one race, the 100 meter, then he like I got to get at the 200 meter. Then he tried the 400. He had to maturate, get mature, wiser. Like man, I'm faster than why I can't beat them. He didn't have a right technique out the blocks. He learned how to drag. He had to drag his left foot to get out the blocks. But one may think, man, if he didn't have to drag his foot, he'd be faster. That's not what made him fast. He already had the speed. He had to get a technique. So for who he is, he had to realize who he was. He couldn't look at Tyson Gay, uh, the Johnson, Carl Lewis, and Gail Devers, and all them, Alex and Felix, their technique. He had to create his own technique based on him because he has scoliosis. Scoliosis is when your spine curve and the smaller your back. So when I met a lady like that, she'd go through pain, but in a lot of pressure time or pleasure time, she don't feel it because that's when your hormones don't. It direct is the focus, the nervous system changes and they go more towards the pleasure area, which that makes sense to me. Maybe some other people don't. So when he realized that, he became the fastest man in the world. And then they kept putting people up against him. Like, no, you don't got no good technique. He got good technique. But it's like his technique is not the best technique. The guy tried to make a video and I had to explain to the guy that's not his technique, that is wrong. Because if you're not even watching who I'm not even I don't even coach track. I don't need to coach a lot of events like hockey. But I can tell you that's not why it's working. Some guys, some women and men, and some have a naturalness about them. It's innate in them to be a certain way. So when you incline to be a certain way, you're going to be always, and this is like, you realize how you different. This is about you. It's not about another person. I'm 6'5". I'm not the player type. I don't have the Casanova. I had to realize that what's going to work for me and what haven't worked for me because I realize that's who I am is who I am. So me being so if you put 10 people in a room and the person that just come in the room later is like, oh, they all look at you like you different. You don't have to simmer. You don't watch what they watch. You don't eat what you don't do what they do. your life is not predicated upon what they're doing, you're going to have a very, very few people that you're going to have good connections with. It's not a diss, and it's going to be heartening because you cannot control that. You cannot control the people you are around. They cannot control you, but you cannot control the people that's around you. Don't have the same innate abilities and power as you. It's like it's different. It's not better than or less than them. And it's hard to explain, which I'm learning it's never explained. So I'll also explain like this. If we all take a test, the average score need to be 100 to get them all right. And you put out a 75. People are like, why you got a 75? Why are you so happy? Because on this 75 score, I know I gave 100% of me. I gave all of me. So if you always giving all of you and you getting a different outcome, you can't be mad because that's who you are. You can't change it. You can better yourself. You can understand and gain more knowledge. But the one thing you want to do is realize. So when you realize this, you acknowledging who you are. First, acknowledge who you are first. That's how you start realizing. Because I call it the power of oneness. You realize who you are. You're one. You're a person is like. I remember a person said it to me. I was like, you a whole person. She said something like, no. I was like, no, you are a whole person. You are established. You're made whole from the crowns of your head to the soles of your feet, the bottom of your feet to the top of your head, the crown of your head. You are a whole person. You're not 50. You're not 80. You're not 100. You're a whole person. And all the people do is look at you as like, why are you saying it like that? Because that's what you are. I'm not going to take away you. You're taking away who you are based on other people. You can't base yourself. Not one person can base themselves off. You can't even base yourself off your mother. If you're a woman, if you're a guy, a man, you can't base yourself off your father. You will have like tendencies of your mother and father, but you can't base yourself off of them because you're not meant to be them, but you're meant in honor and grace of that you were parted from them. You came from your mother through your father fertilization. The man is just important as the woman is just important. Not one man and no woman is more important than each other. Because without one or the other, we would not be sitting here. So when we start breaking it down to it, we are equal. But once we come out the womb, we are treated fair, but we should be treated, which we are not. And that's the conversation that a lot of people won't realize. I seen a video yesterday as well. A comedian, it was stand up. He was speaking out, and like people didn't get the skit. So I broke the skit down. I'm gonna put the skit, and I'm gonna start putting the skits and things into the link into and have you look at them and be like, what did you get? I want to talk about them and everything. What's this? Oh, sorry. It's from. Trying to fool that. Dang. Oh, sorry about that. I fell asleep. We'll talk about something in a minute too, as well. And I forgot what I was just saying. Sorry about that. But I had some food on me. I was thinking too. I just came to my realization, and it's good too to realize when you do need help. 'Cause a lot of people need help don't realize it. Like in a relationship, try not to like do things that's unbecoming to the other person. Like bringing up conversations you can have in private. Don't do it around people. Don't force people's hands around other people. Because you might hear something you won't like. And that's a lot of things I noticed too. I'm just bringing up things that is noticeable and things like that. People don't realize that. That's hurtful to the other person. They sitting there like, why? And then they not talking to you. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. So don't do that. But so your 100% may not look like 100% other people. I remember like I brought this up before. I'll bring it up again. The girl in school was mad. She was crying when we was in college. She was a little younger than me, but she was a good age to understand. She didn't get like her 90 or whatever. She was not a perfectionist. She was who she was. That's who she was. And she seen my grade. She's like, "Oh, you got a higher score than me because the guy made an error on her test. He wrote the wrong score down, or her assignment. He like every section is worth a certain amount of points, and then she didn't understand her points based on even that. He had to correct it. It was like, oh, hold on, but she was crying for no reason. She went more emotional than practical. Be like, and if I looked at her paper, I was like, you did good. Just tell him that he marked your paper wrong. I already knew what he did wrong. And she was crying and fussing, and we finally seen our instructor, and he corrected it. Then she came back. She finally calmed down and everything. We started talking. She's like, "Oh wow, you got a 75." She ran her nose. I got a 75. I was like, "Yeah." She's like, "Why are you smiling?" And she was a white girl. I done this with black girls that was smart too and everything. Had little events, but this case she was like I remember because it was so because in that time I remember the other ones, but they's not as good. King, I was one happened with an Arabic woman or a Middle Eastern woman, the black girl before about my grades and how I was and how I was treated. And the Asian woman, I think, like four different ethnicities. It's funny, like a lot of things happen because when a person say that, like, oh, it's closed mind versus who you are. When a person called me closed mind and only try to see me in one light, it's like they really don't get to talk to me. They just figure me. They try to figure me out, especially a woman in one sitting. It's like it's not going to work because you don't even know why I feel that way. You didn't even ask me the questions. And she was like, "Why you?" So I asked about your 75. I was like, "This is my 100%." She's like, "Huh?" I was like, "I put 100% into this test. You got a 98. That's your 100%. You closer to 100 than I am." But I was like, "I don't work off 100%. I was like, I work off all my all. So this was my all." She's like, "You're happy with that?" She's like, "Yeah." She's like, "You went through life like that?" I was like, "No, I used to be hurt by watching my sisters and brothers have higher scores on their tests. But when it came down to practical information, I was very good at that. I was very practical and logical. I started saying practical as my friend said, even though he said it in a different type of way. And let's get to it a little by little, how he say things to me. He say it in a weird way, but whatever. And I was like, I was very logical about how I do my life. It's not nothing I don't stress about normally what a lot of people would stress about. So I had to come to the realize that this is my greatest me. And after that, the career is like, don't worry. I remember one time I was on a bus. I didn't even experience how I known the learn who the creator was. People say God, Allah, whatever you want to call him. And my friend, I was curious. I was like, who is God? Show me who God is. He opened up the book, but he was more spiritual. So I was wondering why he used the book to explain who God was to me, that who he called God. So I just went along. So I started reading it. And he showed me different things, and he tried to show me that the prayer and all that, the sinner's prayer, that's what they call it, the curse prayer, which that's we are not going to never do that with my child, but okay, that's just me. Because I realized a lot of curses we put on ourselves when we do a lot of things. And I did that. And I just started, and he's like, read the Bible. I was like, all right. And I just found this one scripture, which Hebrew 13:5. And let me, at the top of my head, always, I don't know, even just remembering things that I love, like, man, what's that part going on? Like, we had to think about that. Even if you read it or not read it or heard it or seen it in a long time, you still know it just takes a little round to the recollection of your mind. Basically, it says Hebrew 13:5. It's basically do not covet another man's wife. Be content with such things that ye have. For he has said he never forsake thee or leave thee. But when I first read the Bible, I was reading the Amplified Bible, which is like a whole bunch of lines. Do not let your disposition be free from covetousness. Yes. So don't covet not another man's wife. That's part of it. I don't know. That came to my mind because I keep feeling like people are. That was the spirit. feel like people nowadays we're covered in people's lives. Like when I know a woman married, I stop even if she a porn star or whatever, I stop watching her. It's hard for me when I see a pregnant woman shaking her booty naked, half naked, stripping. It's hard for me to really have interest in her anymore because it's like you're pregnant. It's unexplainable to me. You got a boyfriend, you're married. To me. I'm not. I don't know how people is taught. I'm learning a lot of women been with married men, but these the same women that's turning me down. So I stopped trying to find correlation of why that's happening because I learned that certain things about certain like about men that a lot of men have that a lot of men that they didn't really have back in the day, but women went more towards a certain way because the music and the women they was around. A lot of I remember growing up, I seen groups of people was always an influencer. Now when I watch groups of people, I don't see an influencer. If it is the influencer is being the wrong or the negative or the bad encouragement to the other people around, then if that's the influencer, but the influencer also seen the good influencer of like groups growing up. Even now, I don't see it as much. But every once in a while, I say like, oh, he the influencer or she the influencer. She's the goodest they can be because they're being themselves because they don't know how to be nobody else because they wasn't taught that. It wasn't fostered, nurtured, and breeded into their family. So they realized who they are at a young age. They was accepting. Like if even if they was gay, they out the closet at 8 years old. Not being funny when you were 5 and 6 and 8. It's weird that you're say that I'm a boy, I'm a girl, and gay. But it's like I'm not gonna say that's who they are, but they are more expressive. Put it that way. I'm not gonna say it like that. The more expressive people are usually the binders of the group, the friendships. When you see groups of people together, you can see who the party starter. You can see who can hold who they go to, like Deliver Us from Eva. They went to Eva, even though Eva had her views in the way she made sense, but Eva was emotional but not practical or logical in things. And I'm gonna have to do a live on practical and being logical. Because men and some young women, I want them to learn that a lot of women are not really men are because we are able to men because we're supposed to be the prey or whatever you want to call us. We're more the head of the house. So much of the head of the house that we are accepting of a lot that our women won't accept. That's okay. But in the sense of as women get older, I realized like women even not, they're still not going to accept a lot of things about a man if they didn't like that man. Because they have I don't know how to explain women because I'm not a woman. But I was telling my guy friend, he's 47. He's like, I don't go to men for a problem about X about women. I was like, I don't go to women really either. Because he got in his scream. He's like, I don't like that. You're a misogynist or that's part of a thing, which you're not. He said, because you're different. He said, you don't do that. But he's like, why you did like what you say? I don't have female friends. I'm 35. I don't need a woman friend. My wife is going to be my friend. I like, that's my viewpoint. Just like your viewpoint, but you're trying to throw it on the lady you with. He arguing her or he getting mad at her. You can't throw your viewpoint on her. That's her viewpoint. You cannot do that. That's hers. And you cornering her. But it's like it's gonna be hard for me. I was like, we met for a reason. And I see why. He's very hurt. And I got through my hurt stage. He hurt another way. But I still can still connect or correlate like how I hurt is still similar because we're both men. He may not realize that you can go to a woman, but then I told him like too. Well, even with that, a lot of women don't look out for women. It's now you see it more, but growing up, like I don't remember women just saying, "Well, she fell on the ground, let me go help her up." I see more men because we're more catering to the woman. A woman is not more catering to a man until she see fine form and fit. But that's what I try to explain to like nowadays. I'm not a certain way till I see form or fit as well. They're like, well, but you see my like women that try to put me in a box, then let me get in a situation like, oh, I didn't know you was like that. I didn't know you can do that. Yeah, now they get a little interested, and I'm a type of person which I gotta learn not to do. You're not interested in me, and you gotta find some crazy ordeal about me, a situation to get interested in me. I'm not really interested in you back because you already let me down. Because you already proved to me, like, damn, you're not gonna be there. Like, it's not a diss to nursing home people. They family nursing home now they come to see their grandma, aunts, and stuff. Like but when they was in a nursing home, I want you to realize this, young women and children. It's like, go see your parents now. Don't wait. It's like I was saying in the last one, closed minded versus like you, who you really are. Don't wait to advocate for when the child get hurt. Do it now. Your child needs you. That person needs you. But I had to come to a realization as my maturate into my maturity. I'm mature in a lot of areas, but I still watch cartoons. I'll play a video game. I will ignore a lot of things like a little kid, like you making me mad. But in my mature stage, that's not even acting like a kid. That's me going into a place or area where I can go think and then come back and have better responses. And we have a better communication and we have a better relationship. But a lot of people won't understand that. They're using their old past experience of being hurt and the problems that they had, bring them to the forefront. Don't do that. Women, you are allowed to have your past as your example. Men and women, men are allowed to have theirs. So if one is allowed, all is allowed. You cannot allow one and not allow the other. You can say that sounds stupid or that's unmanly, that's unwomanly. That's dumb to the person that's going through that situation. That's hurtful. Like even what I just said about how family, that's maybe they didn't have the time. But I'm looking at it too. Don't overextend. Like people be overextending that thought. No, hers like no. This is I'm doing my job. There now the family's coming in. Wait, stop. Let me do my job. Like in families that got families in nursing homes, it is annoying to keep reminding the CNA about what they are doing. Like if the CNA is putting on that's a little small things. It's like no, don't do that. No, they need this. We know they need it. Can I get to it first? I'm doing the work while you're watching me. Of course, your mind will say, where's their hearing aid? I just put their clothes on after I took them out the shower. You just got in this building. You wasn't here with them. Let me get to it first. Can I put their arm through the thing before I get their hearing aid out? And that's what people got to start being. And I'm realizing I don't know the word to use. We are no longer mindful of one another. We no longer care, like in a sense of care, like me. I'm 35, and I might get my master's around 35 to 40 to 42 to 45, and there's women got their masters at 35 already. But my master's, in a sense, is not just for money. I learned I learned what I love to do. I finally found out what I enjoy. This is what I enjoy, and that's going to make me happy. I'm not going to come home complaining about my job. Because everything I have to complain at the job, I'm going to do it at the job. I'm going to say it to the people. Like when I have a problem with the people at the job, the other CNAs and the nurses, I go to them. And they're looking at me like, I'm not going to the supervisor, the nursing, or the director. I don't care about that. I'm coming to you because it's maybe you didn't realize that's what you're doing. And then I hear conversation like maybe that's why they don't like, but they're not talking to her. They're talking behind your back. They like the gospels. I don't like spells. I barely like gossip because they change the meaning, just like what tattoo meaning. Just like what scarification mean. They change the whole meaning to make it look good, but then they take it over. And people don't even realize this. And I want you to look this up. In my city of Buffalo, it wasn't a lot of people. It wasn't a lot of black residents. The family resident was only like 16 in the 1940s. It's 2018. Think about that. And people don't even realize, like, besides that as well, how we forgot how long it took us to forget to where we are at in life. And if you only looking at me, because you gotta realize if we're coming out of being a certain way, it's gonna take a while. But if you only gonna measure me by the end of my thing, it's like most men, we starting to say like, why would I want to be? And a woman started to say this to me because a lot of women talk about why I gotta struggle for love. Why can't I meet? Well, the guys that you meet now are the guys that work hard to get there. You don't even know their. You say you don't want to struggle, but you don't know his struggle. You don't want to struggle, but you don't know his struggle. You don't want to struggle, but you don't know his struggle. So I was reading the scripture of Hebrew 35. I had like be content with what I have. That don't mean I don't strive and don't thrive. But he said he would never forsake thee or leave me. And that whole scripture, and this was why I laugh at a lot of people. He didn't promise me nothing. He said, if I don't do this, that's substance. I'm being content. He said I'm not a man of God, quote unquote, what you call God. I'm content with where I'm at. And I'm not covenant nothing, not money, no wife, no other lady, no other man, no possession. My phone is not being covenant. A lot of people doing that. They covenant their husband, their phone, their property, their cars. They're covenanting it. They don't thinking that they're making it over their God. See, nobody thought I'm not putting anything. I didn't know that though. I didn't know. Don't put anything over my Creator because He gives me all. He also have the access and ability. I don't have to. I say thank you. If we have a connection and it's plugged in, I don't have to keep praying. You say you give thanks. I give thanks daily. You don't have to worry about praying to Him. God, can you please do this? Create. No, you don't. You don't. It's up to you though. It's how you. It's you. I realize this. I don't. I don't. Remember, it's about an I. You too. Don't ever throw away the I about you. Because when you throw that away, who are you? Why are you unique and individual? Why are you beautifully made? How are you great if you're not working within yourself? If you just copying off anybody, anything, you don't know how they got there, what they did to get there. How are you great? So as I read that for like a year. I would start going to the church my friend was going to, then I was led to go there to be a cleaner and help out and everything. I get back to that, as I stated. And he asked me one day, "What are you reading?" He's like, "Oh, you been reading the Bible, I see." I was like, "Yeah." Like, "What you been reading?" Hebrew 13:5. He was like, "What else?" It was, I don't think it was a year. I think it was like 6 months, 3 months, 4 months. So he asked me about the Bible and different things, and I would just read it with him and didn't really have an interest because I was like on that one scripture. I literally read that scripture and I was reading Amplified. I was like, now asking like, this scripture is so long. He was like, "Oh, this is the Amplified Bible." I was like, "Oh, it's like a whole bunch of different versions." And I didn't even know this. And I was 28, I'm 35. He was like, "Yes, it's a whole bunch of," I like, "Oh, I thought it was only one Bible." He was like, "No." He's like, "Read this one." I'm like, "Who is this?" "King James Version." Go to the page. It was 4 lines. I'm like, "That's it." I saw the Amplified Bible. He was laughing. I was like, "Man, why is this one so long?" Because like it's amplified. It's more in plain text. It's more not just. It's not an English verse. The English language. The like English language from Britain, UK, London, United Kingdom language. The these and thous is not in there. Like, oh, okay, thank you. Then and I understood it more spiritually, mentally, practically, and logically. And it's still logic to me because that's like faith have a substance. What is the substance of faith? And if you never have the substance, it's hard for you to have hope and faith. It's the evidence. What is the evidence? They say of things not seen, but there is a substance. So without it may not be an evidence of things not seen, but what substance make up my faith and my hope? And if you never had, you really don't have faith and hope in it, but you don't deny it because you don't really need evidence. So say like this: I never had love from a woman I've been in a relationship with. I've never been told that women ever said they love me. So I know evident. I may not seen it, but I know there's love because my mother, the substance, my mother have loved me before. My mother loved me now. My sister loved me. So I know what love is. But now for a relationship, for marriage, courtship, I don't know what love is. So it's a difference. I have the evidence of the things not seen. The evidence is there is love because my mother has shown it to me. People around me have shown it to me. But my substance of wanting to be in a relationship, what is the substance of my relationship? And I wanted to be on love, and I never seen it. So now that's where my hope and faith comes in. I was gonna say the word lies, but I like the word lies. Comes in. So I had to have hope and faith that I will find a woman that will love me one day for who I am. So I have to realize, so coming back to realize it's practical again. I should have put practical, but that's here and there of the love. And so for me to trust in the creator, I was like, if you are real, when they go outside, and I said it just like this, it better stop raining or you're not real to me at all. Don't matter how many people you sent to me your whole life. I finally noticed that. I've been noticing that. I was like, why is people come to me? But I had to get off the people realm. Because people were like, oh man, God calling you. No, the spirit of God is calling me because he's here. He's everywhere. So if he's omnipresent, I heard people say that means he's everywhere at all times. But he don't have certain promises. He don't promise you marriage or children. And a lot of things he don't promise us because he realized the iniquities of the world is going to really be influenced. So me having not the innate, the natural ability to finesse a woman because my father wasn't there and my mother won't say a lot of things. I even bring up about like old day because she's hurt because she's a dark skinned woman, what she been through. She's said small little things here and there, little nuggets here and there. I be boom, I grab them. I heard you. I heard that, and she like saying stuff around me because the way she made me an honest man and a respectable man. So the things I do, whether I go to strip club and look at women, I'm not. She know I'm not going to disrespect that woman. I'm there for the. I don't have a wife, and people say that's an excuse. No, it's not an excuse. I'm not a virgin. My virginity. I didn't understand what virginity mean or celibacy. Like we had talked about it, but nobody know what it means to be celibate or abstinent or to not lose your virginity yet. That not to go touch a man penis or a woman vagina. Do not finger a person. Do not see a person naked. Do not put yourself in. See, nobody explains this to you, young men and women and children, no more. See how that works? And we wonder why it's hard to be celibate. Like it's older after you get hurt and abused. Oh, it's kind of easy to be celibate. Do it when you in love. Do it when you want to share. Like I want to share my life. Don't don't think about like you want love in your life. Do it when you happy. See, when you mad, it's easy to not do a lot of things. Do it when you very happy. When you really and you enjoying the spirit. You are filled up. You're filled up. You're filled with joy. Now, not now. Try to keep your legs closed to a person you meet that's filled with joy. You both sides. That's hard because what you want to do is share. And when you share all aspects of life. That's love. That's true love. Because not just one aspect, it's not just sex. It's hard to keep it in. Because you're not hurt. I'm not hurt. So it's so easy for me to express who I am and tell you, like, man, I did do that. I went to the strip club. I paid for sex. I know that it's the escorts. I watch porn. I have no problem. I'm telling the whole world that watch this with less views and no views. Because you're going to see this one day. I have no problem because I don't have a regret because I know who I am. I had to realize I didn't do so much wrong. I just didn't know. And he said, once you know. And I said, if you're real, you better. I was like, oh, it's still raining. It's pouring down rain. I'm going to school. I was going to school and work. I was doing security. I was going for criminal justice, which I didn't finish. I have to finish one day because I learned how to read the law so I can be in my right way when I start helping people in a certain way and we come together. So with that, it's like I got outside in the way where I lived at. It was a thing over the door, and because I only go out the side door. I have a front door. This is a side door. I had to go up one stair. If anything ever happened, I had to go out my window. The windows was big enough, so that was good. I already tested it, so I didn't mind living there. And so I put my key in the door. I was like, all right, you real. I stuck my key in there. I locked my door. I was in the military, so I did a right face just about. You know what happened? And this is the truth from the spirit. The creator can strike me down if I'm lying. I die right now, and I give permission for the enemy to take me if I'm lying. I give permission to my creator to take me if I'm lying. The rain stops. The rain stops. The rain stops. That's when I was like, the creator is real. It had nothing to do with the Bible. It had nothing to do with what I read. It had a little bit in a sense. Or the people that was talking to me. He was real. The entity of the creator was real to me. I said, you're real. You controlling this realm. Because he know how I speak. He know how I am because I'm logical and practical. Which no spirituality, I have it. It's always in me. He sent people to me. Even my father said I recited Malachi without even reading it. The whole thing at 8 years old without even reading it. There was nobody around me reciting the Bible to me. Maybe my mother was, maybe my aunt, but I don't recall none of it. Maybe they was doing it when I was a baby. I don't recall. But I told them that nobody could tell me that they was like, oh, I didn't read the Bible. I didn't read it. So nobody yet has read the Bible to me. So in the form of Malachi, I should be studying who Malachi is and and put a YouTube live out on that. And so it became real to me. The Creator became real to me that day. It had nothing to do with the Bible or people on this earth. It'd be my relationship changed. But women would never know that about me. They feel like the way I speak and the way I talk, I don't have certain because I don't say Jesus, he my brother, and all that other thing. But I was like that day, I was no more convinced. I was convinced that the Creator was real. There's a spiritual person out there that created us that have a power to change and can control how I act. But He's given me the free will. He's given me the ability. He's given me access and activated my access to do this with people now. So my community unity now is even stronger. Then after that, it was like I had the idea like now like wow I can do community unity because the Creator is behind me now. The Father, the Almighty is behind me. My Father. That's why like the Father. That's why even men because when the Father is behind you, you unstoppable. I'm gonna go through life having the struggle that a woman only going to see when I get done. Now when she see me and hopefully and some see me now, maybe I'm not talking to her, but she's making her and the Creator is not showing me who she is right now. That can be happening because he can be working on me and her, not in some cliche way. I mean in a way where we won't hurt each other. Our first meeting, and then like if I wasn't the way I am now, we couldn't talk. I wouldn't be practical. I would probably use my emotion or I would use my past, not emotion. A lot of men, and I want to tell women, men don't use their emotion. It's the past. If a man been rejected compared to a man not being rejected, who you think gonna have the more esteem to come talk to you and talk to a whole bunch of women at one time? The man that's not really rejected a lot. He's liked more in his neighborhood. He's liked more in his area. He's liked more in life. Like, and this is not a diss to me or other men. A lot of men like me, we're not liked. Don't matter if I'm 6'5", tall, dark, and handsome. I look like a knight. I look strong. I'm all right looking to most women. We're not the like men because we got the stereotype now. We got the stigmas. He do too, but somehow the stereotypes don't fully apply at all times with him like it do for us. The problem lies is when the women find a reason. If the woman don't find a reason, nothing wrong with you till she find one, because that's how she's nurtured, taught. So it's no beef. It's like I want to explain to women: men don't argue with you because of who you are and what you choose. It's how you say it and what you do. And I don't have female friends just for that reason. I don't want to watch a woman be in relationship after relationship being with men that don't love her. And you sitting here like I wouldn't like I really would never and like I can truly say that. Things I would never say. I'm not going to prison. I'm not the Creator said I'm not going to get shot or blown up. I'm going by that. But on my side, I can control. I'm not going to prison for no one. I'm not going to do another thing. People are like, why you say that? You might know I'm not cursing myself. So somebody's like try to put something like, no, I know I release that. I loosen that curse that you gave me. I throw that away. I rebuke that. That is not of me. And thank you and shalom. I don't take on that. I'm not missing. I'm not broken. So stop saying that to people. When you do say that to people, talking about, man, you not gonna never go to jail. Don't say that. You should be saying that. You manifest what you want to see. Just like I can manifest. So what that don't mean because that's not a manifest is more of what can truly really happen. I can truly get married and have children, but it's not a promise. It's not I can't compromise with a woman to love me. And I learned about love. I talked about it's more of a manipulation than I'm pouring on you. It's a few relationship. The divorces That was manipulated. It was about, and it was 70%, 74% of marriages end because of divorce. So that's only manipulated by finances. It wasn't poured on to love in the beginning. If it don't start with love and a likeness and admiration, or admiration and a care for you, that's not love. That's never going to be love. I don't. In my eyes, it's never going to be love. I don't care. Down you, because it's not going to work. Because all you're going to be looking for is the finances. Even when you say I do love the person, it's going to be mute. It's going to be silent because that's not why you're there. That's not why originally why you got there. So to me, it don't make sense when a woman said, if a man don't pay for the first date, I don't talk to him. If a man don't do this, and it's sitting there like, huh? But it's okay that for her to have her depiction of things, for not him. But I want to meet a woman that's willing and available, that she can compromise. Wow, he's not going to spend all his money on me because he don't know me yet. I don't care about just mentioning we talked on the phone for 3 months and we went out. But when you're going out, you're spending her own money, or you might be spending a little bit. But you're not paying for $100 event. See, she don't want to, and it's like she not paying for $100 event. So why shouldn't she pay her own way? And it's like, well, if he's not spending him, why shouldn't you? And don't throw other things in the conversation about a man. I'm not taking care of him. You're getting to know him. That's the biggest difference. But somehow women, it's not practical. So I realized that. So and that's just little things I brought up. And I have more things about why I believe in the creator, which women don't believe why or think I do. But I like to share different things about me here and there. And sometimes all the time. I made one and I just expressed about me. So sometimes I leave some things out because that's not where the topic or the objective or the focus is. I'm coming to you at. Because it's your choice. Well, I say unto one, I say unto all. It's your path. It's your journey. So choose wisely. Have a focus. Within that focus, have a purpose, mission, and position. Keep them good ethics. Be positive. Be great. Be yourself. Positive affirmation, good affirmations, reinforcements, and empowerments. I love myself. I'm going to do great. I am great today. Those are perfect. You reinforced it, you reaffirmed it, and it's empowerment. No negative, it's all positive and good. And you're gonna have positive and good moral values and ethics. Don't call it a standard, call it what it is. Like he got swag, that's his character, personality, and attitude, what you like. That's what attracted you to him or her. So don't be ashamed of that. But be mindful of realize like that's to me at 35, I won't use the word like I say lit because lit actually mean they trying to change it and made it try to make it more hip hoppy. That's good. You threw a little bit of spiritual in there. That's spiritual. Lit. LIT is spiritual. It's not because I'm you're lighting up. You're the light to the people. That's what lit mean in the real terms, in the real etymology, the real understanding, the real translation, the relation of words, the language. Lit is to be a light onto people, to be a light onto yourself. The creator shine down on you and he put you as you light up, you lighten everybody. So you are lit. I'm lit to people. I am a light to people. They know within this light, I'm not gonna shake or budge because you throw a 5 grand at me. I'm about to no, I don't gotta shake or budge. You throw some pussy at me. I would like to have some. I know I did what I did, but that don't make that's about me. So even if you a hormone or a Jezebel, that's not you. If you change your life, you change your life. But remember, realize too, you had a life unbecoming of who you really were. So if you meet a person that's not, you don't have to accept them. I'm not forcing you to. A woman said, you can't make me like, they call it educated lane, which I don't like the word lane. So you're not going to make me like an educated dude. I experienced that. I've been through that. I'm going to take a other guy that's willing to do this and that and this. But this is the educated guy because he's a black man and he's like, well, he don't have that same sense. You okay with your problems and what you seen as problems, you don't, he got the things that's going to bother him about you are not liking him for him. He's not being liked for who he is. You're not being liked for who you are. So there's women out there that go through the same thing with men. They're not being liked. So they're going to have a little things like, and you're gonna meet the right person. I'm telling you this. That's gonna say that's not stupid. I'll pay my own way because you do. I can tell you you have admiration and you care about me. But I can deal with this. I can make my own money. I got my own job. I'm working too. I don't see the big deal with me paying my own way. You're gonna meet a person that's gonna really say that to you. It's not a big deal because I am very interested and intrigued and fond of you as well, young man or man. Like you a man to her. You're a great man. She's gonna see that, and she's not gonna. She's gonna be what you desire. She might, and she's gonna start well. I used to be this way, but until I went through this, I finally understood. I understood that that wasn't gonna get me what I wanted. That wasn't like you in the form of like your righteousness is filthy. It's only filthy as you allow it to be. My righteousness is not filthy. It's like I owe. And so if he said keep, I'm keeping honesty. I'm being honest with you. What's so filthy about that? See how you like logical and practical? Don't just throw things out at people. If that's not who they are and what they are, don't just throw things out at them. Learn about who they are. Don't get a depiction off of one question or conversation. Woman kept saying I was mad about what the woman said. I wasn't her caliber of man. I wasn't mad. She's like, "What are you mad?" I was like, "You don't know me." I was like, "My voice is the same height. Am I mad now?" She's like, "You seem like you getting there." I was like, "So you don't know who? You don't even know who I am." I was like, "You look mad," and she just laughed. She was like, "Shut up! Ooh, I can't stand you." I was like, "You can't because you sitting down." And that's how I am. I can take a situation like I'm not mad at you. I'm not mad at no one. I'm not mad at no one. But I'm not going. You're not going to tell me how I am within who I am and why I am when that's not even the truth about me. So learn who you are. Enjoy your day. Enjoy. It's a Sunday. I don't know what you do on Sundays. Enjoy your Sunday. Whatever you do, enjoy it. Hang out with the family, your loved ones. Call people you haven't talked to in a while. Make the first effort. Make the first move. You start rekindling love that you and your partner have, a person you like, and you seen interest in, like rekindle it or start something up, or get more into nature. You want to draw, start drawing again. You want to work out, start working out again. Make a resolve, a resolution, because I am truth, resolve, and success. You are those two. You are truth. Who are you? That's the truth. Learn who you are. That's the truth. Success, not success filled because you're working on what you want to work. So if you got a movie, you got some literature, you got to finish your degree for college, you're going to apply for these jobs. You got the job, you want to get promoted. Your success, now fulfill it. Go, what do you need to do to fulfill those things so your success can be fulfilled? And what's your resolve and what's your resolution to get there? What is your resolution throughout your life that you need to get help with? You might need to go to wise counsel, people that got your best interest. Not everybody had your best interest. You know who to go to. They looked out you from day one. If you don't have that, go to the creator. Say, creator, show me the spirit of. What's the spirit of here? So I know how to work around these people. I know how to work within this building, this system, this institution, so I can be better for myself. I'm not worried about the institution and the system I have to offer because I'm not because a lot of people, there's a lot of different spiritual understanding there. I'm not trying to get that. I'm trying to get what you have for me. So you have a great day. Shalom.